Welcome to a Mass Effect video bonus. In this video I'm going to demonstrate the ghost command in many different places. I'm actually replaying the game with this shepherd. Let's introduce ourselves. This is Sean. She is my soldier. She was my very first shepherd. Um, yeah, you can see that I wasn't... I mean, if you've watched my playthrough with Anja, you know I was being very delicate and very precise about where I was spending points. Sean had no idea how to build optimize. I mean, when I look at this, I'm like, oh my god, I have 12 points in Spectre training without yet having 12 points in pistols. But it's soldier. There's no bonus talent. It's pretty tough to screw up this build. It's really kind of tough to screw up any build in this game. But anyway, yeah, she's got 10 more points. She'll spend them wisely, I'm sure, throughout this run. But along the way, we're going to be using Ghost quite a bit, and it should be fun. Of course, I am standing next to Genghis to demonstrate that I am. This is early in the game. In fact, this is the very start of the game when you go to speak to the captain, and then you end up on Eden Prime very soon afterwards. One of the things you may have noticed whenever you've played this game is that these back doors here are not accessible, which means you can't get downstairs yet. You have to go to Eden Prime first. Well, Ghost allows you to do well, not the unthinkable, but the unallowable. And it's kind of easy. You just pull up the console, type Ghost, and what Ghost really does is it turns off clipping and it turns off falling. So the game doesn't really track where you are anymore, so you're not really subject to gravity anymore, and you're not even subject to other physical things like walls and bullets. And because the game isn't really tracking your position anymore, it's not inclined to load any particular area you might be arriving at. And you may say, well, how are we going to explore the ship in this state? Well, you don't have to stay Ghost. You only need Ghost to get through the door. Then you can use Walk to restore, and then suddenly the game knows where you are, and it says, oh, I got to load in. So, yeah, it works pretty cool. So now we can go exploring the Normandy prior to the first mission. And you can see some things are not quite ready. It's almost like the ship is being prepped. I mean, this is a shakedown cruise, right? So maybe things are being installed. I mean, we are en route to Eden Primes, and then when we come back from Eden Prime, I mean, everything probably ought to have been installed already, but the lockers are missing. Sleeper pods are here. Cadence Station is here. I think the captain's quarters are fully equipped. Notice the dining table is here, but not the chairs. The med bay, the Metagel dispenser is not here. Dr. Chakwas' station is not here. And the back storage room is entirely empty. So that's pretty much this deck. Let's take a look downstairs. Who are you? The talk bubble says Nihilist, but it's not actually on this guy. That kind of looks like... that's Joker's hat? But, well, maybe everyone wears those hats. I guess I've never really noticed before. But look at this! The Mako appears to be being prepped. And this guy's head is completely inside the thing. Hands, too. I can get in the Mako. I can use the Mako. I can drive the Mako. How strange. Joker also has a talk bubble here. Notice that I can't actually talk to him, but the game responds as if he's there. Nihilus' talk bubble. Can't talk to him here either. And in fact, there's something actually here. There's a physical object that I can't walk past. But so I don't think Nihilus is directly above me. I know Joker is not. Whoa. He seems okay. Is Joker gonna pop into place too? I don't know what I had to do to get have this to get drawn. Up. Huh. Yeah, so, I mean, obviously the game never intended you to be here. So, I mean, now we know where the hell Captain Anderson went. I always thought he was on the John. But yeah, totally unique experience coming down here when, you know, when you're really not supposed to be down here. Yeah, obviously the armory isn't set up yet. The lockers aren't here. The crates that Rex rests up against are not here. Extra people are here that don't salute me. Pretty long loading screens. Engine is here, but none of the people that work down here are available. So yeah, kind of a unique experience coming here. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun with this. We're gonna see what other places we can explore that aren't meant to be seen. So hang on for the ride. Of course, the Citadel is absolutely teeming with places you can ghost in. We are at Udina's office. We've just arrived here. There's another balcony over here. Uh-oh. Yeah. One thing you'll learn quickly about ghosts is that it preserves the altitude, or the elevation you are at. And also is a little wonky. So the fact that we are a little bit, our feet are in the floor here. If we turn the walk back on, there's a good chance we will sink. And if you fall in the water, it's over. You're now falling until you fall out of the map. Yeah, you have to reload when you do that. But that greenery looks nice. That is solid.
Clear.
Another little bridge over here. Ha ha. No, I'm not
All clear.
being specifically picking on Ashley there.
I smell trouble. That's it. Bag 'em and tag 'em.
Yeah, squad mates are a little bit confused when you go off the map into places you're not really supposed to go. They don't behave like you're in combat or something. But this is a platform. You can walk here. There are walls all around it. Some doors on the Citadel, which you can never open. This is the one right outside of Ambassador Udina's office. Never is accessible. You can go through them. Most of the time, when you do so, you step right off the map. And there's really nothing back here. Nothing at all. And this is true for a lot of the rooms. And this one is quite different from the other doors that never open in this game. Yeah, look at this room. This had to have had some purpose in mind. I have no idea what you would do with it, but it's pretty cool. And yeah, totally never seen or used in the normal game. And we're outside Chorus Den. Here's another fun place to ghost around. Right into traffic.
All clear.
him out. Area secured.
And you find out that the highway isn't that lengthy after all. Is that a floor down there? It is.
Clear.
Wow. Alright, now we are headed up to traffic control, which has this giant room. I've always wondered what the heck's going on in here. So let's ghost our way in there. Wow, it's pretty far up here. And that's the elevator that you can't get into. Actually, that's the elevator. Oops. Yeah, from those lockers. I do wonder if you were meant to be able to take that elevator somewhere. I guess we'd only go down that far right there. Wouldn't go all the way to here. Anyway, let's see how
I smell trouble.
the floor... Oh, I just landed on Caden.
That's it. Bag him and tag him.
So it's a pretty significant room down here.
500 to see the ascension from the inside out.
Let's see the ascension from the inside out.
Took almost 6 hours and we only saw 1/10 of the ship. I even got to meet the commander.
Matriarch Ladon.
Negative contacts, Commander.
We're pretty far out here. That thing is big. Alright, we've just finished the first of the 2 Corps' den fights. We're on our way to see Fist, and Caden had just announced prior to my recording that the perimeter was clear. And indeed, when I stole my weapon, they stole their weapons. So we should be able to go right on to see Fist, right? This does happen occasionally, not very often. Normally what would trigger something like this is an enemy being stuck in a wall somewhere. And if we walk around, the radar's not telling us anything. It doesn't say that there's any... I mean, we're not seeing any red triangles. And indeed, the squad mates think combat's over. So, goes to the rescue. We gotta find this guy. Normally, in this fight, it's pretty easy, especially if you have biotics in here. I've got Caden with me. You know, if a enemy topples in such a way that he kind of stands up in the wall and then he gets thrown, or even shot with like hammerhead rounds, yeah, he could fall off the map pretty easily. But apparently this time he didn't die, so let's see if we can find him outside. Using Ghost, of course. Now it's pretty black out here. See the outside of Corps' den and the highway and everything. Looky here. Thug that... I don't know if he's actually lying on something or what, but yeah, it should be no problem dealing with this guy. Done. And look. Yeah, back to green.
Area secured.
So yes, it's really frustrating when this happens and you don't know that you can ghost out and see if you can find the enemy that's holding you up here. But yeah, I don't consider this cheating, not one bit. Alright, now we're on Cleansall. This is where one of the 2 crime bosses is. This is the mine-based one, obviously. In this particular mine, the second of the 2 back rooms is blocked by this mining implement. Let's see what's behind it. And sure enough, even though I speculated that the intent here is to make it look like they never were able to finish mining out this room, and the room is actually here. Not only is it here, it's lit. But no crates, no loot. I think that would be just cool as could be if we found a room blocked through normal gameplay that we could then find through Ghost Command and actually get some loot out of it. But it's like that's not the case here. Now I'm on Amaranthine. I'm at Helena Blake's base, and I have just accepted her payment and allowed her organization to continue operating. It has promised, of course, to do nothing but gambling and illegal technologies. And of course, she will pay me, and then she will escort me out. Payment's pretty nice, I guess, at my level, and the XP reward is okay. This is not my favorite outcome. This particular shepherd wants this particular outcome. Anyway, you notice that we can't get back in the building, and so the question now is, if I use Ghost, can I get back in and loot the place? Because, yeah, once they escort you out, you can't. You're not free to walk around and get stuff. Let's see. No, this looks a little different. Will it load in a screen? No. Same door we just walked by, or past, or into. Now we just have this stairwell. And another door that doesn't open, doesn't even really fit. It looks like we can see the back of the building here. And indeed, we're just inside the shell of the building.
Hostile contact.
And as usual, my squad mates are a little bit freaked out about it. There doesn't appear to be a way to load in the old interior. At least we get to see with that giant overhang. I mean, it is there. It does suggest that the building that we can see on the outside is quite a bit smaller than what we can see from the inside. Where'd I go? I seem to be really stuck. Anyway, not that it matters much. Yeah, so apparently, yeah, you can't get back inside the structure once you've been knocked out. However, here's a little tip, in case you really are upset about not being able to loot the place. Use Ghost. Once you get inside the building and before you open the door to meet Helena, use Ghost to get through that wall and then loot the place that way, and then use Ghost to get back into that little room, that little entry room, and then open the door and talk to Helena, and that way you will have looted the place and got your payment and got your outcome. I guess that method's cheating, but hey, you got what you wanted. Alright, now we're on X-57, and we are in the main facility and haven't done most of the fighting here. You're in the respite portion when you see this little container over here with the door wide open, and there's one enemy. He never comes out. The game just wants you over there when it starts that cutscene, so you give it a moment to breathe, recharge, and all that stuff. And if you know that you are not going to let Balak escape from here, then you also know something else. And it kind of makes sense that wouldn't it be nifty if you could have one chance to talk to Kate before Balak does mean things to her. And in fact, you can go in the room thanks to Ghost. But unfortunately, no, Kate is not somebody you can talk to. You can say hi. I mean, you, the player, can say hi, but unfortunately you can't have a chat with her. It was a long shot, honestly, but I did want to try that. Alright, we're on Pharos at Zeus Hope, and this other freighter has always been here, but never accessible. Let's see what's in there. Not much. I could be wrong. Does it go through here? Okay, yeah, this is the one. Yep, and that's the way to get down to the thorium, of course. Yeah, the module that rises up, you never actually visit during the game, because it's not really here. There's nothing here. Interesting. Alright, we're still on Pharos. We are at the beginning of the Prothean Skyway portion, and I think in my LP I pondered that the Skyway might continue in that direction. Let's have a look. Maybe it does, but it's kind of hard to tell. It seems to have been filled in with fill. So one thing we do know now for sure is Joker didn't bring in the Mako from this direction, did he? So it does suggest, of course, my guess is I'm no longer standing. I'm actually inside the rock. So I really can't go back to walk at this point. And since this goes up, I really can't do anything but continue to ghost here. Maybe we can see from behind. Okay, yeah, so the Skyway definitely would have continued on this direction. Most likely. But yeah, it's broken now. Alright, I'm on the Skyway now. The aura is down. Tali is down. I'm surrounded by death and I'm standing on fire. Could things be any worse? Notice though that I don't seem to be suffering much. My shields are up. My health is fine. Yeah, ghost to the rescue. Yeah, so when clipping's disabled, it really is disabled. Siege pulses, rockets, bullets, fire, creeper vomit, melee attacks, all of it passes right through you. Completely, no harm to you at all. So kind of like stasis in a sense, you're completely immune. But the difference is, of course, that unlike stasis where you can't move a muscle, I can join the fight whenever I feel like it. And unlike bullets here, my bullets are deadly. So yeah, if you're in a fight and your squad mates are down and it's dire and you don't remember when your last save was, as long as you can get in that console and enable that ghost command, I suppose you have a fighting chance. I haven't had to do that, but I suppose I would if I had to. Alright, so one other thing I want to show you while I'm here. Something that typically doesn't work, though you'd think it ought to work, right? Because the impression you get here, when you look across the way there, is that the Skyway we were just walking on, right there, used to go straight across to there before it collapsed down to that one. So if you were ghosted, and the ghost command is holding your altitude, your elevation, then it should be a simple thing to just walk over there, and you should be able to explore, have a little fun. And remember what I said earlier, that is the game doesn't keep track of where you are, and you can go anywhere you like. Yeah. You die. This is, I think, I'm not going to say it's unique to Pharos. I don't know. It does appear that occasionally the game does know where you are, so do be careful of that. Now we're on Agibinium, the world where we meet Alanos Haliat, and he traps us in here, though that way right there, through that door, is open, and that's the way you play. But I just want to see whether I can actually go out through the way we came in. And Ghost is the way you would do that, because yeah, as you can see, that little explosion he set off is created quite a bit of density of material here. Yeah, I mean, it's not just that row of boxes you can see from, I mean, it's a full treatment here. I think that's normal. Yeah, but it looks like we can be able to proceed on out. Of course, this isn't the way you want to go because all the action is over by that other door. Mako is still over here. Which means, well, what does it mean exactly? I don't think Holliot's going to be over where, well, let's take a look. I mean, maybe that you have to actually exit out that, through that doorway in the side of the mountain to actually trigger Holliot's presence there. Whoa. Okay, that was not a video editing trick. That was what we would call teleport of some kind. Yeah, so, that is definitely a unique way to approach this. That's not the way I prefer to do it, because I really like sniping these guys. But yeah, the Mako actually goes right where you would have found it earlier. So, anyway. Alright, now we're on Pinnacle Station. During my playthrough with Anja, I pondered what might be beyond this door. Now we can check it out. Appears to be empty space. Now, one of the things that is true is that even in outer space, I think there will be still gravity. Let's carefully try walk. Uh-oh. Where did I go? Oh, I'm right there. So nothing loaded in. Yeah, I'm just up against this end of the floor here. So yeah, there's actually nothing beyond this door. And that chair, I think that is where Elude Akron sits. I think. I don't know if that's, I mean, it's roughly the right spot for it. The other thing that interests me is this planet. I remember saying how awesome it would be to have an office here to be able to look out. Well, let's get out of the glare caused by this glass. Are we approaching this planet with a little too fast here? Are you kidding me? What I thought was a planet is just a giant ball of string with some sort of fake rings. Sometimes I think Ghost is more anticlimax than anything else. I don't know. Alright, now we're on Ilos, so we're getting close to the end of the game. We just had that long chat with Vigil, and we're ready to head on back to the Mako, where we are on hot pursuit of the conduit. One of the things you may not realize, Ghost promises to keep you from clipping. So if you put yourself in the Ghost state, you won't be stopped by any walls, of course, and who knows where you'll end up going. Yeah, I'll stay in the elevator for now. But you may notice that whenever you activate an elevator, all your squad mates kind of snap into place, even if they weren't even close to being nearby. Shepard also does that. She does some sort of reset, and what actually happens is she ends up getting unghosted. Though there's an interesting side effect. Watch this. Yeah, Shepard instantly falls through the floor as the elevator takes off. So, yeah, let's not do that. Yeah, if you happen to load your game from this position, you have to call the elevator, and it comes from all the way up there, and it actually is kind of slow, so I'm going to speed this up just to bring it here. Now, if you're in the elevator and you're riding up, you can actually still ghost, and it will have an impact like you might expect. I haven't actually entered the ghost command yet. I just typed it in. Now I've entered it. And you can see the elevator's leaving or continuing on without you. Your squad mates are probably looking like, what the hell? Why is she up there? I was actually trying to load up my sniper rifle, but oh, there we go. I was just going to see if I could see them. I guess that's the underside of the elevator now. Oh, it's probably my squad mates are nearby now. Anyway, yeah, as normal, you can walk around not clipped on anything. But this elevator shaft really isn't a floor. So, just because it looks solid doesn't always mean you can expect to land there safely. And once again, the map is floating higher and higher above us, that is never a good sign. Eventually the game will crash because, well, I don't know what happened. I mean, I assume the map is this finite state, and if you're ever beyond it, then it just can't cope. But yeah, you don't want that. Alright, we're nearing the end of the road here on Ilos. That is the conduit up ahead, gyrating. One thing you may have wondered is whether you can actually ghost while you're in the Mako. Nope. The Mako always clips. I'm not sure. I mean, it looks to me like the command is just ignored. I mean, even if you step out, you're not ghosted. You still climb, you still bounce into walls. So, basically the command's ignored. But remember what I said earlier. The ghost command not only keeps you from falling and clipping, but the game also doesn't track your position. And that was one of the issues we had with trying to snipe those colossi down there, is that we couldn't get close enough to them, because that black line, roughly, is where that cutscene will start, and then once you're out of it, you've got a timer, and you've got to get through the conduit. And sure enough, the game does not launch the cutscene, so we can get out and have a look at this thing up nice and close if we want. You know, you don't see this for very long, this conduit and its surroundings, and I gotta say, it's pretty magnificent. Also, see what I see? 326 meters, 314, 263, 256. Yeah, every one of these colossi is now within sniper range. I'm going to take out one of them, and I'm going to cut out the footage to take out the others because this takes so bloody long. But yeah, we can actually finally take out these colossi. Of course, you have to use Ghost to do this, but if you're really hurting for XP, and you want these extra 2 colossi, well then this would have to be the way we could do it. Yeah, I mean, in this case, the wikis, claim that it takes an infernal number of shots to kill them. That seems to hold up pretty well. But yeah, that far away one can be taken down, and therefore the same is true for all the others. We'll be right back. Alright, here we go. And for the first time, for me, should be no colossi down here. Let's watch the shields. Right, they wouldn't possibly be depleted. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the shields are going down. So that is something you can't avoid. So don't blame yourself if you think you're just a terrible driver or something. Nope, the game is ripping your shields out from under you. Alright, we're now in the Towering Inferno portion of the game, which means we're very nearly finished, so this will be the last segment. There's only one more place I want to explore, and that is that boss chamber, because when you're in there, you're always in combat, so you never get to explore. It's not a very big space, but let's see what it's like to be in there when it's nice and quiet. Here we are. Yeah, explore. Saren should be standing right up there. How do I know that? Because this is his hoverboard. Did he take the keys with him? Can I ride up there and meet him? Wouldn't that be the element of surprise? Yeah, I guess it's not really here. That's too bad. That'd be really nifty to be able to ride around that thing. Actually, I'm not sure you can actually see Saren up there. I don't think he loads into place until that cutscene with him launches. So, yeah, I mean, the only thing you can really do in here is just kind of figure out that the cover is pretty bad, and especially once you realize that the enemy moves around like a crazed man, the cover really doesn't do anything for you. So, despite this being a cover shooter throughout, the final exam is how to live without cover. So, anyway, so yeah, we're pretty much done with the ghost. The only thing I wanted to mention as a final thing is that you may have noticed that we've never ever once used Ghost to gain elevation. You go to a spot and you check to make sure your feet are not stuck in a floor somewhere, and then you use walk, and you usually will drop down to whatever floor is below you. So losing elevation is really easy, but yeah, I've never figured out a way to gain elevation. So it's not like those really high bridges there in the Presidium could ever be reached. I just never figured out a way to get up there and see if there was a floor up there. But anyway, it's not like at the moment we're stuck, because we dropped down. The Sigil Tower, if you remember, has numerous stairwells. So, assuming that we are not above all of those floors, then we should be able to get back into the game. Yeah, the floor we were standing on, of course, is right above us, and not accessible anymore. And if we were to drop down, I think we would fall off the map. But luckily, over here by this fountain,
Take cover.
yeah, we can drop down here, and we're back in the game. We don't have to reload.
Think we got him, Commander.
So yeah, that concludes the tour of Ghost. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, thanks for watching.